Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again for the last deck tech for this week, and yeah, I think we need to do a little bit of background for this. I've left it's the last one. I have mods, I have a Twitch stream. You can come down below and have a look. Come and join us over on Twitch. There's 202 followers over there, so you won't be on your own. And I have some mods, and I have one mod in particular. Goes by the name of Primal. When you hear me talk about him, we don't do real names on the stream. We just don't. It's just not something we do. We go by what everyone's using on Twitch. And Primal's been one of my mods from very near the start of my streaming career. And I have never seen Primal as excited in chat for a card as much as this one. And obviously, I'm talking about Pantlaza, Sun Favoured. He's already called it Panty. So we're going to keep with Panty. And yeah, it's a great one. I'm really pleased that Daybreak Games got this one programmed in. So Primal, this is for you. Pantlaza, if you don't know, is 2 red, white and a green for a 4/4 dino. And when it enters the battlefield or another dinosaur enters your battlefield under your control, you may discover X, where X is that creature's toughness. Do this only once each turn. Now, Discover, for those of you who don't know, is a kind of semi-fixed version of Cascade. It's not. The creature has to enter the battlefield for it to happen, and then you basically follow the same rules as Cascade did. The difference is you may cast a spell, or you may put it in your hand. So it means if you hit things like instants and sorceries that are going to have no effect on the game. So if you're playing a blue card that's got Discover and you hit Counter Spell or Mana Leak or something similar, you can just put it in your hand instead of playing it because you've got no target for it. It does mean you don't get the cast trigger, so you've got to make sure they get into play. But yeah, beside the by, I know Primal's very excited for this, so I decided to try and get ahead of the curve a little bit and do my own version of it. And it's the last deck I'm covering this week. So here we go. My deck looks very much like this. We'll start at the top. I'll just look at the tabletop prices. Some of the cards in here are a little bit expensive, but as I said, all the decks this week are purely looking at MtGO because of the lack of the Commander decks. Again, not blaming, understand why Daybreak couldn't do it, completely get it. Glad we've got the Commanders, but these are purely MtGO decks this week. So this one's 27.22 tickets. It's 316 at the moment as I record this. The set's only just come out this weekend, so that may change. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to leave it on. I'll leave it on the dollar value. It's fine. So we've got obviously Pantlaza as the commander. We've also included a companion, and I've gone with Kahira, the Orphan Guard. You can get it as a companion. It pumps all your dinosaurs up by +1/+1 and gives them all vigilance, which could be useful in this deck, I decided. And since we've got all dinosaurs in the deck as creatures, all 40 of them, made sense to me. So some of the new ones. Belligerent Yearling comes when another dino comes into play. You can give the yearling the new dinosaur's power if it's greater if you want to. So this does mean you can be attacking with a 2 mana 5/2 6/2 occasionally in Commander. Good fun. And it's got trample, so you can get your damage in. Marauding Raptors is also coming back in. This is from the original Ixalan set. Drops the cost of your dinos by 1. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, the Raptors deals 2 damage to it. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, the Raptors gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. So it gets bigger. Siege Horn Ceratops does the whole enrage trigger when it's enrages. Whenever it's dealt damage, the enrage trigger happens. In this case, when this Siege Horn is dealt damage, it gets a couple of +1/+1 counters. The Sunwing makes everything come into play tapped, or not everything, sorry. All creatures your opponents control come into play tapped. Raging Raptors is a new card, is one of the older ones as well. When it's enraged, you get to go find a basic land card and put it into the battlefield tapped. Runic Armosaur, originally from, I want to say M20, but this has been reprinted for the new world of Ixalan. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you get to draw a card. Gives you a little bit of extra card draw. And it's a 3 mana 2/5, which is a pretty good early doors blocker, to be fair. Scythe Raptors, one of the new ones. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it's not their turn, it deals full damage to them. It's a 4/3 for 3 mana. It's pretty good. Thrashing Brantodon is still here. Got to have a way of destroying artifacts and enchantments that are annoying us. Wayward Sawtooth had to have this in to get the extra land drops in and hopefully hit the blessing quickly. Bronzebeak Foragers. One of the few commander cards from Lost Caverns of Ixalan's being programmed in. This one enters the battlefield for each opponent. Exile up to one target non-land permanent that player controls until it leaves the battlefield. But you can pay white and X and put target card with mana value X exiled with the Foragers into its owner's graveyard, and you gain that much life. Nice little bit of life gain if we need it. Cacophondon is a 4 mana 2/5 with Enraged, and when it's dealt damage you get to untap something. The Curious Altasaur's also one of the new ones that's coming in, that's been programmed in. Has Vigilance and Reach. It's only a 2/5 for 4 mana, but whenever a dinosaur you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Nice. Harness Snubhorn came in Aftermath. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We only have one enchantment. We do have quite a few artifacts, so may occasionally pay off. Rampaging Geodome from Battle, I think, if I remember correctly. Trample and Haste. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. If it's attacking your battle, put a +1/+1 counter on it instead. So that's nice. Ripjaw Raptor, when it gets dealt damage, you draw a card. Bone Horde Diet Dracosaur, definitely one of the new ones, one of the mythics from the new set. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exile a land, you get a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token, and if you exile a non-land, get a treasure token. This is a 5 mana for a 5/5 dragon with first strike. This card is going to be very good. You're going to see a lot of this card everywhere. It's just going to be a problem to deal with. Gigantosaur, 10/10 for 5 green mana. Overgrown Omosaur does the enraged thing. You get a sap-pulling token. Another block if you need it. The Hatcher is here from the new set as well. Other dinosaurs you control have haste. And when it enters the battlefield, you get to have 2 0/1 green dinosaur egg tokens. And at the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control 1 or more eggs, sacrifice an egg, and then you get a 3/3 dinosaur. Okay. Quartz Crasher, whenever 1 or more creatures deals damage with you control trample, deal damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt. Okay. Regisaur Rafter gives all your other dinosaurs haste, and he gets a 3/3 with trample when it comes into play. Wrathful Raptors is also one of the ones that's been programmed in for this set, and whenever a dinosaur you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur for 5 mana, and it has trample. Yeah, okay, then no one's going to block your creatures, but then they're going to have to block your creatures and still take the damage. It's getting dodgy. Budding Sun's Avatar, one of the original Elixirlin dinosaurs, comes into play, deals 3 damage to an opponent, 3 damage to a creature. Carnage Tyrant. Colossal Dreadmore. Had to have the Colossal Dreadmore in, didn't we? But we have got the new version of the Dreadmore as well. Yeah, Colossal Dreadmore's had a really major upgrade. Still got trample, still costs 6 mana. But when this enters, when the Dreadmore enters, the Earthshaker Dreadmore, sorry, enters play, you draw a card for each other dinosaur you control. Okay then. Yeah, we had to play Atali, sorry. Primal Storm's here, and the new version, the Primal Conqueror. Had to play them both. No, I'm not even going to excuse myself for doing that. The Regal Behemoth is also in. When it comes into play, you become the Monarch, and whenever you tap a land while you're the Monarch, you get to add 1 mana of any colour, an additional mana. Trumpeting Carnosaur is one of the new cards. Enters the battlefield, discover 5. And then 2 and a red, discard a Trumpeting Carnosaur. If it's in your hand, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. This does everything. Acts as a burn spell if you need to take something out, or just gives you more creatures in play that upset people. Ancient Imperosaur, you can convoke this. Convoke this as much as you can, because it comes in as a trampler and it gets bigger for every creature that convokes it, because it gets 2 +1/+1s for each creature that's convoked it. And with Ward 2, it's going to be a pain for your opponents to deal with. Goring Ceratops attacks other creatures you control, gain double strikes the end of the turn. It's got double strike itself. It's just a little bit weak as a 3/3, so be wary of it. But, you know. Silverclad Thrashidons, when you got the enraged, every opponent sacrifices a permanent. Thundering Spineback pumps all our dinosaurs and lets us create dinosaurs. Tyrannus Rex from Phyrexia will be one. Trample Toxic 4, Ward 4, Haste. And it's an 8/8. Yeah, okay then. New one from the main set, Gishith Sun's Avatar. When it deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from top of your library, put any number of dinosaur creature cards among them onto the battlefield and the rest of the library in a bottom order. Yep, go with that. Polyraptor, when it becomes enraged, you get a copy of it, so you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Polyraptors in theory. Zetala, Primal Dawn, flying double strike, vigilance, trampoline, indestructible. And Zakama, we had to play Zakama. You couldn't not play Zakama, could you? Untap all the lands when you cast it, and you get to do all those lovely abilities. And the final dinosaur from Rivals had to be Golta, Primal Hunger. I did think about playing all the other versions of Golta, but yeah, I just went with this one. Sue me. The Planeswalkers are basically all the Huatali, so we've got the Sun's Heart to ensure our creatures deal their damage equal to their toughness and power if necessary. We get to put loyalty counters on Huati for each creature we control, and then get them bigger, or, you know, emblem it. The Warrior Poet gives us life gain, gives us a dinosaur, and then we get to divide damage, and those creatures can't block that turn. And the Dinosaur Knight, which I think everyone forgets about. Again, it's one of those sets. Ixalan originally was one of those sets where we got additional decks that had additional planeswalkers in them, and this is the one from Ixalan. We had the Dinosaur Knight. You get +2, put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to one target dinosaur you control. -3, target dinosaur you control deals damage equal to its power to a target creature you don't control, so they bite, not fight, which is nice. And then -7, dinosaurs you control get +4/+4 until the end of turn. It's a nice card. +2 is really good. Anyway. 2 battles. First one, Invasion of Ikoria. Sorry, there's an advert appeared here. I'm not sure why there's an advert here, but anyway. This is nice. Enters the battlefield, search your library or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. And then if you can flip this battle, you get Zilortha, Apex of Ikoria. Reach. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it wasn't blocked. Considering all your creatures in your deck are non-human, mainly because of our companion, yeah. Interesting. We do have one other battle. We have the Invasion of Ixalan as well, if I can get it to load up and not go completely wall-eyed on me. Hold on a second. Just jump into Scry for a second. So the Invasion of Ixalan, 1 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a permanent cards from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the library in your bottom order, in a random order, and then kill it off. You get quite a nice little 4/3 dinosaur, the Belligerent Regisaur. Whenever you cast a spell, it gains indestructible until the end of turn. It's very nice from my point of view. Anyway, swiftly back to what we were doing. Spells, not many. Nature's Law, Rampant Growth, 3 visits. Thunderherd Migration, because it'll cost us 1 less. It'll cost us 2 most of the time, and occasionally we may have to pay 3, but yeah, oh well, it is what it is. And Curious Herd. Quite like Curious Herd. It's a nice way of taking care of artifacts that your opponent may be playing. I've seen a slight uptick in recent weeks on Urza Lord Artificer decks, so this is why it's here. But again, you can take it out, replace it with something else. Just make sure it's not something that's non-dinosaur if you want to. Artifact ramp-wise, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, which is my usual selection with Soul Ring and Arcane Signet. 1 of each of the respective medallions for the set. And then also 1 of each of the talismans. So we've got Conviction, Impulse, and Unity here. They're showing the Doctor Who versions now on MtG Goldfish. So yeah, fair play. Yeah, the Growing Rights is back. I'm hoping you all know what this card does by now. Comes into play for 3 mana. You look at the top 4 cards, put a creature card in your library. When you have 4 more creatures in play during your end step, you flip it and it turns into Gaze Cradle. Really useful in this deck with some of the high casting cost things we do have down here. Just the lands left, 37 of them. All the blue, no blue, no black. So all the red, green and white lands you can imagine. I am playing some of the lands from Streets of the New Capenna just to go search things out. Again, Exotic Orchards here because it's 3 colour decks. We might as well have it here. The chances are you're going to have one of your opponents playing those colours unless you're up against a whole load of blue-black decks that don't help you at all. Fabled Passage, just going to get the basics out. I've gone slightly less on the mountains. That may be a mistake. Maybe it should be the plains I'm slightly less on, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment until I've played it out a little bit. And yeah, Temple of the False Gods here as well as Reliquary Tower. I will point out that the one thing I have included that is a little bit random is Gavany Township, because yeah, we do want to pump our dinosaurs up if we can, and this is quite a nice way of doing it with +1/+1 counters in the right colours. And that's it. That is my deck that I'm going to be playing for Pantlaza, or Panty, since it's going to be known as on the stream by the looks of things, according to Primal. You'll see this. I'll be playing it tonight on the stream, hopefully. Assuming I've managed to pick one up by then. So come and check out the stream tonight. There's a link down below to my Twitch stream. Please, if you haven't before, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. 276 as I'm recording this at the moment. So I'm really hoping I get a nice early Christmas present, get towards 500 by the end of the year, which would be lovely. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you on stream and I'll be back next week with some more deck techs. Take care. See you soon. Goodbye.